Hey, welcome to UK Wild Crafts. I'm just going out for a walk to see what I can find to forage. We're in sort of mid to getting on to late autumn now, so this should be a very abundant time of year for foraging. I'm hoping to find some different types of nuts and fruits and maybe some mushrooms. So let's go see what I can find. The first part of my harvest are these medlars, absolutely lovely fruit. I found this tree last year, so I've come back to harvest from it again. It's right on a public walkway and nobody else seems to notice the fruits, or maybe they just don't know what they are, because it's not a particularly well-known fruit, the medlar. I absolutely love them though. These fruits need to be bletted, which is basically just to allow them to go soft. It's a very simple process, but I've covered it in a video and I'll leave a link in the description. I'm probably going to make a medlar puree out of these, which is absolutely delicious. It's a bit like applesauce, but made with like toffee apples. It's got like a nice sweetness to it. And I like that medlar sauce mixed with Greek yogurt and maybe some roasted walnuts. I've just been taking a walk in this pine woodland, and I've been here quite a few times before, but I've never found these mushrooms in this area before. I'm very happy about finding these. These are saffron milk caps, and these are absolutely delicious mushroom. They've got a bit of a sweet, fruity flavour, and they're really good pan fried or roasted. That'll do me for these mushrooms. There's absolutely hundreds more here, but I don't need any more than that. Just spotted a few walnuts down here as well, dropping out from these walnut trees here. I left it a bit late for harvesting beech nuts this year. It's mostly just the empty husks left on the tree now. But I should be able to collect just a few handfuls to toast the nuts and have them in salads. I have actually noticed there's loads of the nuts on this path just below the tree. And most of these seem pretty good actually. As long as when you get the nut and you squish it between your fingers, it's still completely solid. And also there's no hole in the casing. But yeah, these look really good. They're quite large as well for beech nuts, so I should be able to collect quite a good amount here. Okay, this has to be my new favourite way of collecting beech nuts. It's a lot quicker than harvesting them from out of the tree. And normally when there's grass below the tree, these nuts just sink down in the grass and you won't be able to find them because they're too small. But on this path, it's just really easy to collect them. So this is a new way for me. That'll do for now actually. There's absolutely masses more. I could be here for hours picking these if I wanted to, but I think that'll probably do. I know where they are if I want to come back for some more anyway. One of my absolute favourite harvests of the year has to be the sweet chestnut harvest. and now's the perfect time to be collecting them. They've mostly fallen off the trees now, and there's absolutely thousands on the floor below these sweet chestnut trees here. A lot of them will still be in their husks like this. You'll get like 2 or 3 sweet chestnuts per husk. Just roll them with your foot, and then they come out like that. Look at all these here, they're everywhere. Just check that they're not soft. There shouldn't be any give when you press them with your thumb. They should be completely solid. And a bit like with the beech nuts, just check the shells for any holes. That means they've probably been eaten by some sort of grub. You do want to check that you definitely have sweet chestnuts and not horse chestnuts or conkers, which are mildly toxic. So with sweet chestnuts, you see it's got this little tuft at the top of the nut there. That's a good sign, because horse chestnuts or conkers don't have that little tuft there. In fact, I've got some horse chestnuts in here. As I said, these aren't edible, but I'm collecting these to make some detergent from, because they've got saponins in, or like a natural soap. So that's a horse chestnut, and that's a sweet chestnut. And obviously I've got to make sure I keep these separated from the edible harvest. Getting a pretty good amount there now. Such an abundant time of year. There's still absolutely thousands here. I've taken a tiny fraction of the amount that I could pick, but I think that'll probably do for now. It's getting pretty heavy. It's a lovely little family of shaggy ink caps here. These are an edible, more so in this stage. That's the perfect stage for eating there. These ones have started to turn to ink. You can actually use these for making a ink to write with. So I'm not going to pick any of these to eat, because these are the only ones that I've seen grow in here. But if I find more, then I'll pick those instead. That is a lovely one there though. You can see all the ink on the grass there, look. Here's another shaggy ink cap. But again, I'm not going to bother picking it because it's just the one. It's not really worth picking one. Found a patch of horse mushrooms. I'm just going to take a couple of the younger, fresher looking ones. Younger one. I'm just checking for any yellow staining to make sure it's not a yellow stainer mushroom. because they're poisonous. Alright, that'll do me for today. That's a beautiful basket of autumn wild foods. So let's have a quick run through of what I've picked. First of all, we've got the medlars, which I'm going to use for making medlar puree. Got a really good harvest of sweet chestnuts. So I think this year I'm going to make some chestnut flour out of these. Also, what I'll probably do is save some of these so I can make a stuffing at Christmas. I've got these lovely saffron milk caps and these horse mushrooms. So I'll probably use both of these in stir fries. Under here I've got a few walnuts, not very many, just a handful there. And then those beech nuts as well. I might possibly use these to make an oil, but I'll probably just toast them and use them in salads and maybe in my stir fries as well.